Well, good afternoon and welcome back to Gering High School as we are getting set for the third place game on day 3 of this 2020 Western Conference tournament. And it will pit the Mitchell Lady Tigers taking on the Gering Lady Bulldogs. Gering comes into the game at 1-1 as they lost to Sydney Thursday by a count of 55-52. And then last night they got back on the winning track, defeating Alliance. Final score 67-21. And after a 3-3 tie in the first quarter, it was all Gering from that point on. 25-4, Gering leads it after the first quarter as they ended the quarter on a 22-0 run. Gering by 37-14 at half. And in the second half, the third quarter, Gering opened up a 30-point lead, and that made the score 44-40, as it was 54-20 Gering at the end of 3. And then in the fourth and final quarter, Gering outscoring Alliance 11-1 in the fourth quarter for the win. Sid Winkler led the way, 20 points for her last night. Kiera Wyo with 9, and Maddie Seiler chipped in 8 points. Sean Harvey and his Mitchell Tigers come in at 0-2 as they lost on Thursday night to Shadron, and that dropped them into a game last night against Scotts Bluff. And they lost to Scotts Bluff last night 58-47. Lady Bearcats led after the first 17-10. Mitchell, though, took a 21-19 lead right at the beginning of the second quarter, but Mitchell still trailed 31-28 at half. Scotts Bluff outscoring Mitchell 14-10 in the third quarter to lead 47-38. And then in the fourth quarter, Scotts Bluff outscoring Mitchell 10-7 for the win. Jaden Kano led the way with 11 points for Mitchell last night. McKenna Chambers added 9, and Margie Schmidt finished up with 8 points. Fifth place in this girls Western Conference tournament went to Sydney in the game that just preceded this one. It was all Sydney. Final score, and this is the correct score, Sydney 54, Alliance 2. Alliance scored their only points of the game with about 4 minutes and 20 seconds left in the second quarter, and they were held scoreless for the second half of that game, so Sydney takes fifth place by a final score of 54-2 on the girls' side. Fifth place on the boys' side, that goes to Sydney also, as they defeated Gering 58-49 was the final score there. The third place game will pit Shadron against Mitchell. That game will start at noon, and then the championship game on the boys' side will be Scotts Bluff and Alliance. And here at Gering, our championship game will be Shadron against Scotts Bluff, as Shadron looks to defend their title from 2019. Well, Steve Land stopped up after the end of last night's win over Alliance, and we'll have those comments for you next as the Platte Valley Company's pregame show continues after this on 106.9 The Trail, KHYYFM.com, and on KNEB.TV.
New season and new fashion is in at Compliments for you and your home. Check out what's new from Tribal and Charlie B. From light layers for warm days and cool nights to reversibles that are a must-have for the season. Compliments has the style for you. With great looks come great deals. Compliments always has weekly deals to bring more style into your life. Get ahead of the trends and get the new shapes, shades, and colors this season at Compliments for you and your home. 1708 Broadway, downtown Scotts Bluff.
When you call Gering Valley Plumbing and Heating, you will have options. Repair it, rebuild it, or update it. Whether your furnace stops working or your bathtub won't drain, Gering Valley Plumbing and Heating provides the services you need to be comfortable. Weekends, holidays, or late nights, we will be there. With over 30 years of service, our certified technicians and cutting-edge technology can keep your systems running at their peak efficiency. Gering Valley Plumbing and Heating, every time we enter your home, we leave it a better place to live.
As Steve Land joins us here on our post-game show, and we'll quickly give him the mic and get some quick comments from Coach Land.
Hi.
Your thoughts after this one? I mean, you kind of knew what Alliance was going to do coming in, but your team still, I think, put together a good performance. A little bit rocky there in the second half, but the first half was a good performance.
Yeah, we did what we wanted to the first half, and our press was working really well. We rotated, we had steals, we had a lot of energy. That's what I wanted to see. Coming out, I told them that the score last night with the Scottsbluff doesn't mean a thing. It's a new day, it's a new night, and so our girls were focused. They came out and performed well. We had everybody that scored, all 11 kids that were on the roster scored tonight. So it got a little ugly in the second half. We got a running clock, and I was not happy with us rebounding. We weren't getting bodies on people and rebounding well enough, but little things we got to get better at. These were a lot of kids that haven't seen any varsity action that was playing the second half, and so I knew it was going to get a little ugly, but that's the way you gain experience, so I can live with that.
As you talked about, the rebounding wasn't really there. At least, as you said, it got a little sloppy at the end of the game. Is that kind of just a way the game goes when a game goes like this, when the deficit's so big, the kids are just kind of lose focus?
It can happen that way, and it usually does. That's human nature, It's say, wow, we're up 40 points. Do we really have to box out and things like that? And yeah, we do, because we're working on other things. We're working on tomorrow at noon. We're working on getting more playing time if you want to do that. So yeah, we challenge the kids to do that. I call it timeout, and had a 40-point lead because I wasn't happy with us not we weren't boxing out, and we were fouling too much. We weren't moving our feet. We thought, that they didn't handle the ball real well, so we could just steal it from them, and we were fouling them too much. So that's probably the thing I wasn't pleased with tonight is fouls. And then Alliance fouled a whole bunch. We were in the double bonus in the first quarter, I think, at the very end of the first quarter, so I knew it was going to be a long game, and I don't know how many fouls were called today, but there was a ton of them.
It was. But like you said, you concentrate on noon tomorrow, and but a good win to kind of rebound from the tough loss Thursday night.
Yeah, it really was. I thought Sid Winkler shot the ball really well for us today, and we look at some of our starters they were 2 of 6 and 3 of 9 last night, so they're starting to pick it up. I think you always have that first game jitters where you don't shoot very well, and so as the season wears along, I think kids get more comfortable and start playing together more. I think we were a little impatient offensively. We could have made that extra pass a couple times. We had people open underneath, and we tried to force up some drives and things like that. So, until you get them on huddle and watch some video, and they make them understand how bad that is by trying to force stuff when you have kids wide open, and then they'll start seeing the court better. Girls have a hard time sometimes of seeing the X's and O's on the clipboard, but then when you see the video, I think it makes sense to them, and so that's how we really grow as a team.
Well, the good news is you got 2 games in, looking at a third one tomorrow. How good does it feel right now to be able to actually play?
It's really good that we can play. We take it one day at a time. You don't know who's going to go in quarantine or who's going to get COVID at this point. And so we've had all of our kids healthy this week, and you just keep your fingers crossed. We've got a tough stretch coming up next week. Adams Central, Hastings, Ogallala, Scottsbluff, 4 big-time games in a row. And I see all of them teams won big last night. Adams Central won big, Hastings won big. So they're very tough teams, and we'll be traveling down to Hastings for a game next Friday and Saturday night. And then we'll have Thursday against Mitchell. So a lot of tough games early on, so we got to be prepared.
All right, a good win here tonight and something to build on for tomorrow.
All right, thanks, Jeff.
All right.
No job is ever done without the right fuels. This is Brian from Dooley Oil. In this country,
I
our
was
strength.
13, but weight loss surgery changed my life. I've lost 120 pounds, 80 inches, and gained a whole new outlook on life.
Weight loss surgery may be the answer to your weight and health problems. Regional West offers the support of skilled surgeons and a dedicated bariatric team for your journey to a healthier you. Learn more about weight loss options at Regional West. It's time for a new you.
And welcome back to Gering High School as we're getting set for Game 2 on Day 3 of this Western Conference Tournament, the third place game between Mitchell and Gering. And as you heard head coach Steve Land say to us in his post-game comments from last night, they've got a tough stretch of games coming up. They'll meet up with this Mitchell team next Thursday, and then they will go on the road down to Hastings. They'll take on the Hastings High Tigers, and then they will also take on Adams Central. And of course, then the week following that, they've got Scotts Bluff, and somewhere in there they're going to put Ogallala in there. So a tough stretch of games for Gering over the next couple of weeks before we take the holiday break here on the first half of this season. And of course, you know, any game that these teams can play this season, as it kind of was as you saw during the fall sports season, that it's just a plus for all these teams to be able to get these games in the current pandemic situation. And we did see some games postponed during the volleyball season. During the football season, Gering having to play the Shadron game with only 19 players because they had a lot of kids in quarantine at that time. But you know, everybody, with the increase in the cases all throughout the state of Nebraska, you know, fall sport, or I should say that winter sports, trying to get underway, and they have gotten underway. And as we said, we're on the third day of this Western Conference tournament, and as we've said, we're able to bring these games to you not only on the radio involving Scotts Bluff and Gering, but also able to bring all 18 of these games to you on KNEB.TV on Allo Channel 15 in Scotts Bluff, and the games here from Gering on Allo Channel 190. And we like to give a big thanks to our sponsors that are allowing us to bring these games to you, and they include B&C Steel, Byers Realty, Western Nebraska Community College, Extreme Dents, Platte Valley Companies, Panhandle Auto Group, Runza Restaurants, The Zone at Scottsbluff Screen Printing, John's Body Shop, Chimney Rock Chiropractic, Prime Metal Products, Papa Murphy's, Farm Bureau Sean Harvey, Shelter Insurance, and Panhandle Co-op. Also, Paul Reed Construction, Ideal Linen, Elite Physical Therapy, FBNO, Audrey Elliott Law, Northfield Retirement, and Western Nebraska Regional Airport. And we'd like to thank them as we're able to bring all of these Western Conference Tournament games to you here on KNEB.TV. So the third place game between Mitchell and Gering will get set to get underway here in just a little bit. And coming to you this afternoon from the Logos broadcast booth. Logos is your home for all your screen printing and embroidery needs. Shop the showroom or have something custom made at Logos at 1344 10th Street in Gering. A couple of things that Gering will probably need to work on this afternoon will be rebounding the ball. They had a little bit of a problem with rebounding the ball against Alliance in a game that they won 67-21 last night. And kind of the way it goes in games like that where a team has a big lead and sometimes players lose focus, and I think that was a little bit of the case last night as they beat Alliance 67-21 to even their record up at 1-1. Let's take our final break here on the pregame show, and we'll come back with the opening tip here from Gering and introduce our starting lineups, as this is the Western Conference Tournament on KHYYFM.com, 106.9 The Trail, and on KNEB.TV.
The Verizon family is full of frowns because they're spending too much for their unlimited data and phones, while the Viero family is all smiles because they're getting 4 lines of unlimited data with 2 free Apple iPhone SE for mom and dad and 2 free LG K31 smartphones for the kids, all for just $100 a month. They're saving so much, they're able to get Fido. Find out how you can too at Viero.com or your nearest Viero store. Viero Wireless, keeping you connected.
Coverage of the 2020 Western Conference Basketball Tournament is brought to you by Panhandle Auto Group, Runza Restaurants, The Zone at Scotts Bluff Screen Printing, and by Chimney Rock Chiropractic.
Our national anthem here this afternoon from Gering High School, and of course with the restrictions here, the gym is cleared between games, so only the fans of the teams playing in the game are, or family members I should say, are allowed to come into the gym. So that's the reason for the national anthem before each game. Starters being introduced for Gering, and there's Sid Winkler along with Kiara Wyo, Chloe Fries, Carly Pazanka, and Nikki Todd. And Gering will be the road team, and they will be in the blue uniforms with white letters and numbers trimmed in gold. As being introduced for Mitchell, Jaden Kano, along with Avery Hobbs, McKenna Chambers, Margie Schmidt, and Josie Jenkins. Those will be the 5 on the floor for the Mitchell High Lady Tigers, as we are getting to set for this opening tip. And our opening tip is brought to you by Papa Murphy's Pizza at 2801 Avenue B in Scottsbluff. It's love at 425 degrees. And don't forget to register with the Papa Murphy's Text Club for a sweet deal. Kenna Chambers will jump it up against Carly Pazanka, and the tip controlled by Gering as they move from left to right here in this first half. Sid Winkler out on top with it on the dribble, finds a Wyo on the wing, bounce high post to Carly Pazanka. She's triple team, get it back out to Kiara, drives, dishes. Here's Nikki Todd with it in the left corner looking. She'll find Pazanka as Carly cutting to the hoop, and she lays it up and in. And it's 2-0. Gering here just underway in the first half. Mitchell with the ball. Jenkins, left side pass. Jaden Kano brings it from left to right. Looking, nothing there. Hobbs with it. Kick out McKenna Chambers. Back to Jaden Kano, picked up there by Kiara Aguayo. She works it to the right side. Kano driving off the glass, too strong. Carly Pazanka there with the rebound for the Lady Bulldogs. They come the other way. Winkler quickly head to Aguayo. Back outside to Winkler, pass tipped. Aguayo runs it down in the corner. Here's Chloe Fries. Fries into the paint. The runner partially blocked. And Chloe Fries will go to the free throw line to shoot 2. As the foul was on Mitchell's Josie Jenkins. She'll pick up her first, team's first. Chloe Fries with 8 points last night, off on the first one. She will get a second one here. Second one on the way. That one finds the mark for Chloe Fries, and Gering jumps out to a 3-0 lead here in the first quarter. Kano into the front court, picked up there by Winkler. Finds Margie Schmidt, back to Kano in the corner, 3 ball on the way, and that one finds the mark by Avery Hobbs. And we're checking, she was inside the arc. 4-2, 3-2. Gering on top by a point. Here's Sid Winkler dishing down low. Chloe Fries to the basket, shot doesn't go. But Chloe draws the foul, and once again she'll go to the free throw line. Mitchell in the home white uniforms with orange letters and numbers trimmed in black here this afternoon. Try and keep you updated on the Husker game. 27-13, Huskers at the half. As Chloe hits the first one, and now we're tied. Or check that. Gering takes a 2-point lead. Second one on the way. Chloe off. That one bounces around. And a pushing foul underneath. As the foul was on Nikki Todd away from the ball. That'll be her first, team's third on Gering. Pressure now by Gering. Schmidt across the 10-second line, intercepted by Ohio. Ahead to Chloe Freeze. Layup comes up short. Nikki Todd with the rebound put back. Here's Carly Pazanka battling down low, and Pazanka fouled by Jaden Kano. And for Kano, she picks up her first. Chloe Freeze to trigger the inbound. Baseline left, and a 5-second call. Nobody got free for Gering. That'll turn the ball over to Mitchell, as it's a 4-2 ball game. Kano brings it into the front court, and Mitchell from left to right. Lob inside, looking for Chambers. It goes over her head, as Chambers was behind Carly Pazanka on that, and the pass went over her head out of bounds, and so the turnover gives it back to Gering as Winkler drives. Looks like she did. Took an extra step there on the drive. And another turnover gives it right back to Mitchell as they trail it 4-2 here in the first quarter. Into the front court comes Kano. Finds Hobbs on the right side, and they try to go once again inside to McKenna Chambers. And the ball knocked out of bounds. It'll remain with Mitchell. They'll inbound baseline right, quickly into Chambers. Check that, Winkler gets a hand in there to knock it away. So we'll try it one more time. Kano on the toss in. Lob out on top. Here's Hobbs with it. Cross court pass for Schmidt off the mark on the three. Rebound run down. It's tipped out of bounds. It'll be Gering's ball. 5 minutes, 32 seconds left first quarter, 4-2. Gering on top by 2. Into the front court comes Sid Winkler to Ohio on the wing. Kiera drives the runner off the glass, too strong. Chambers comes down with the rebound for Mitchell. Should give it up to Kano, and then Kano fouled by Sid Winkler. As Sid trying to get the steal. And the foul called, that'll be the first on her. And we're double checking here. Scoreboard says 14 fouls on Gering. And as I look at it, I've got 3, and that's what the scoreboard says. So 3 team fouls for Gering. Mitchell with the ball at their offensive end. Here's Kano driving into the paint. Kick out Hobbs against Freeze right side. The runner too strong. Rebound run down by Sid Winkler. Long down court pass ahead to Chloe Freeze, and she can't handle it as Freeze goes into the stands along the far side. And a little bit out of control that time for Gering. Mitchell once again with a chance to tie, take the lead with a 3. Kano with an overhand pass, tries to find Margie Schmidt. And another turnover and a little bit of sloppy play by both these teams to start this game off. Sid Winkler tapping her head, calling out the offensive set for Gering. So Wild cuts back door to the basket, cut off there by Schmidt, tries to dish down low. And another Gering turnover. Empty possessions for both these teams on their offensive ends. early in this ball game with 4.5 minutes left in the first quarter. Schmidt with it on the right side. She'll put it on the floor against Sid Winkler. Now to Hobbs. They try to lob it inside one more time to Jenkins, and Jenkins tied up by Sid Winkler. Nice play by Sid. The possession arrow will keep the ball at the Mitchell end as they work from right to left here in this first half. Margie Schmidt to toss the inbound. Gets it into Jenkins, back to Schmidt. They work it out on top. Kano, 3 ball, too strong. Long rebound. Hobbs runs it down in the left corner. There's Chambers with it. Back to Kano for another 3. Long rebound. Chloe Freeze on the run out to the basket. The layup up and in. Chloe Freeze with 4. Gering 6-2 here with 3:52 left in the first quarter. Wide open 3. Avery Hobbs, too strong. Wyo comes down with the rebound. Ahead to Freeze on the run out. She loses the handle. Wide open path to the basket. And Chloe Freeze lost the handle. But full court pressure now by Gering. A 1-3-1, 3/4 court press. Backcourt, here's Hobbs with it. Looking. They get into the front court to Kano by the far sideline. Kano trying to avoid the double team. She'll bring it to the left side with the left-handed dribble. Inside, they try to go to Chambers, stolen away by Carly Pazanka. She'll give it up to Sid Winkler. Winkler center court. Left side pass to Freeze, right back to Winkler. Gets a screen from Todd. 3 ball off the glass. Mitchell comes down with the rebound. Into the front court comes Avery Hobbs. 3 minutes left here, first quarter. Josie Jenkins, top of the key, gives up to Chambers. She puts it on the floor, drives, cut off, and a foul called. That'll put Chambers at the free throw line as the foul was on Kiera Aguayo. And Aguayo picks up her first personal foul, 3rd team foul. Chambers' first free throw, that rattles in. Six to 3. Gering by 3. Angelica Gutierrez checking in for Mitchell. Chambers' second free throw off the mark, and the rebound fought for as Todd couldn't corral it, and it'll be Mitchell's ball. Candy Banks is also checked into the Mitchell lineup here. Mitchell will inbound Schmidt, baseline right. Toss out on top to Gutierrez, goes overhead. Aguayo runs down the loose ball on the run out to the basket. Kiera Aguayo with her first points of the game. 8-3 Gering, 2:42 left first quarter. Mitchell quickly the other way. Here's Banks, top of the key, holding, looking. Give it up to Chambers. Top of the key inside the arc. Bounce to Gutierrez. Back to Kano. Kano drives the runner against Pazanka. Doesn't go. Mitchell comes out with the rebound. Gutierrez for 3. In and out. Rebound tapped around. Finally controlled by Carly Pazanka. She comes out of the crowd with it. Give it up to Maddie Seiler, who's checked into the Gering lineup to Aguayo. 3 ball long rebound. Loose on the floor. And a held ball is Gutierrez down there with Chloe Freeze. And the possession arrow will keep the ball at the Gering end. Here comes Briley Dean into the Gering lineup for Chloe Freeze. And on the Mitchell side, substitution, Avery Hobbs checking back in. Aguayo to inbound, baseline left. Gering left to right, quickly on top to Seiler. Here's Aguayo, looked at the 3, gets a screen from Seiler, drives, dishes. Pazanka left side with the drive to the basket, off the glass and in. Carly Pazanka with 4. Gering by 7, 10-3 with 1:50 left here in the first quarter in the girls' 3rd place game in the Western Conference Tournament. 5th place went to Sydney. A 54-2 win over Alliance. Avery Hobbs to Chambers. Jab step to Gutierrez into the paint with the right hand off the glass too strong. Maddie Seiler on the push, up the right side to the basket, doesn't go, and a blocking foul called on Jaden Kano. That'll be the second on her. And that'll put Maddie Seiler at the free throw line. Seiler rattles in the first one. Make it 11-3 as Kano will sit down with those 2 personal fouls here. And that brings Marty Schmidt back in for Mitchell. Second one off the mark, no good. There's Nikki Todd with the rebounder, put back off the mark, but Seiler comes out with the rebound. She'll give it back to a while to reset the offense. Briley Dean will throw up a 3. That doesn't go. There's Nikki Todd once again on the double team. She'll get it out of there. Into the hands of Seiler on the dribble. Works it around top of the key. There's Kiera Aguayo, 3 ball on the way, off the glass and in. Aguayo with 5. Gering 14-3, 50 seconds left, first quarter. Margie Schmidt, they go inside to Banks, pass too high for her to handle, and another Mitchell turnover. And Jazz Wybera in for Gering. 41 seconds left as Seiler brings it into the front court for Gering. High post, Briley Dean to the free throw line, off the glass and misses the mark. Banks saves it from going out of bounds, and Mitchell has the ball, trailing by 11. Hobbs ahead to Schmidt. Back outside, they'll give it to Chambers. Ball fake, takes it into the paint, bounces down low, looking for Banks. It's knocked away, and then a held ball. And the alternating possession gives the ball to Mitchell here with 19.5 seconds left. Margie Schmidt will inbound, try to look for Gutierrez, and it goes out of bounds. It'll remain with Mitchell. They will inbound far sideline as they work right to left in this first half. 18 seconds left. Schmidt gets it in. Inside to Chambers against Pazanka. Shot blocked. And Gering will come the other way. 9 seconds left. Seiler ahead to Aguayo. Back to Seiler. Top of the key. 4 seconds left. Wybera for 3. Off the mark. No good. Battle for the rebound. And that will end the first quarter. At the end of one, it's Gering 14, Mitchell 3 on the West Coast scoreboard.
This chair is way too big. It's perfect for us. This one's tiny. That's 'cause it's mine. Hey, this chair is just right. This bed is way too hard. It's perfect for me. This bed is way too soft. Just what I needed. This bed is just right. So come on over to Lee's Heads.
Coverage of the 2020 Western Conference Basketball Tournament is brought to you by Elite Physical Therapy, FNBO, A. Elliott Law, Northfield Retirement, and by Western Nebraska Regional Airport.
Welcome back to Gering High School as we start the second quarter of this girls' third place game here on day 3 of the 2020 Western Conference Tournament, and Gering leads it 14-3. On the floor for Gering is Seiler, Todd, Winkler, Wybera, and Briley Dean. Gering has the ball to start this second quarter. Sid Winkler with the free throw line, gives it up to Seiler. Seiler into the paint, the runner with the right hand, too strong. As Margie Schmidt comes down with the rebound for Mitchell. Gets it ahead to Avery Hobbs. Hobbs, baseline jumper, misses the mark. Dean comes down with the rebound, up the floor, stops in the backcourt. She'll give it up to Sid Winkler. Winkler between the circles. Gering left to right. Takes it right side. Looking on the wing. Gets a high screen from Todd. Puts up the jumper. That's blocked by Hobbs. Run down by Maddie Seiler. And then Seiler knocked to the floor. And the foul was on Mitchell's Margie Schmidt. That'll be the first on her. 5th team foul on Mitchell as Chloe Freeze into the Gering lineup. Briley Dean will check out. Toss on the inbounds to Seiler, directing traffic. Having Winkler go baseline, tries to get the pass to her, knocked away. Turnover picked up. Gutierrez quickly up the floor. Schmidt, and looking for a cross-court pass to Hobbs, and throws it out of bounds. And looking in, Jaden Kano not on the floor for Mitchell. Sat down in the first quarter with 2 personal fouls. Gering with it. Here's Chloe Freeze on the right side. On the dribble, has it stolen away by Schmidt. Schmidt on the run out against Seiler to the basket. Doesn't go, but a blocking foul. And that was on Maddie Seiler. That'll be the first on her. And that'll put Margie Schmidt at the free throw line to shoot 2. First one on the way, that one off the mark. We'll have the championship game, Scotts Bluff and Chadron, as Chadron looks to defend their girls championship from last year. Schmidt's second one rolls in and out, won't go. Battle for the rebound, and it goes to Gering. It was his last touched by Mitchell. Carly Pazanka into the Gering lineup here. Seiler brings it into the front court. Finds Sid Winkler on the right side. Looking down low, they find Maddie Seiler in the corner. Seiler step back beyond the arc. Look goes inside to Carly Pazanka. Her layup too strong. Rebound knocked around in the hands of Freeze from 15 feet away. Rebounds tipped around, and Gutierrez knocked to the floor. And a foul called. As Kiera Wyo checks in for Mitchell. The foul was on Maddie Seiler. She picks up her second foul. And she'll take a seat on the bench. Mitchell with it, trailing 14-3. About 2 minutes into this second quarter, neither team has scored a basket. Work it to Kano, who's back into the Mitchell lineup here. Back outside, Hobbs with it. Work it quickly to Schmidt, back to Hobbs, lob inside, looking for Josie Jenkins, tipped away from her, into the hands of Sid Winkler to Pazanka. The other way, here's Freeze to Awayo, wide open for a 3 right side, off the front iron, rebound, put back, Pazanka can't convert. And Mitchell comes down with the ball. They'll come the other way, still trailing by 11. 5:45 left here in the first half. Kano on the dribble, on the right side, picked up by Free. She'll give it up to Banks. To Josie Jenkins. Gets a high screen. Kano drives left side, cut off there by Pazanko. She'll get it back out on top. To Schmidt. Schmidt on the dribble, left side. Hobbs, pull-up jumper, free throw line off the mark. Banks with the rebound. Back outside, Kano, 3 off the mark. Nikki Todd rips down the rebound for Gering. Quickly ahead to Awayo on the runner, and Kiera Awayo with her 7th point of the game. 16-3, Gering, 4:58 left in the first half. The offensive end for Mitchell. Here's Banks driving, the runner off the glass, doesn't go. And that'll put Canny Banks at the free throw line. And the foul was on Carly Pazanka. She picks up her first. Banks with 4 points last night. In the lost to Scotts Bluff, and McKenna Chambers back in. And Josie Jenkins will take a seat on the Mitchell bench. Mitchell looking for their first points here in the second quarter. As the free throw off, it remains 16-4. Freeze driving right side, shot off the mark, and traveling called on Banks as the teams come up the floor. And it'll put it at the Gering end, and they will inbound underneath their own basket as the officials wait for someone to come and inbound the ball, and it'll be Chloe Freeze quickly into Ohio. Out on top, Winkler inside, Freeze in the paint, and Chloe Freeze scores it for her 6th point of the game. 18, check it, it's 18-3. They got the scoreboard right. I thought Mitchell was still looking for their first points here in the second quarter. Kano can't convert. 4:17 left. Gering quickly the other way to Ohio. Left side, Kiera drives. The runner doesn't go, and a blocking foul called on Schmidt as both players crashing to the floor. And for Schmidt, that'll be her 2nd personal. That puts Ohio at the free throw line. First one up and good. Kiera with 9 last night. She's got 9 here in the first half. 6-team foul on Mitchell. Both teams with 6-team fouls. Ohio off on the second one, but Nikki Todd there with the offensive board. Kick it outside to Winkler inside. Pazanka to the basket with the right hand, off the glass and in. Carly Pazanka with 6. 21-3. Gering 3:57 left here in the first half. Gutierrez. Avery Hobbs with it, free throw line. Back to Gutierrez, drives left side against Ohio, throws up a shot as she took a hard spill on the floor. And she will go to the free throw line. As the foul was on, I think I saw him flash 42, and it is Nikki Todd, and she's got 2. As first free throw off, no good, so Nikki Todd will come out, and Anabea Rios will check in. Second one on the way. That one's up and good by Angelica Gutierrez. 21-4 at the Gering end. Chloe Freeze on the run out, can't connect, gets her own rebound. Second put back, misses the mark as Gutierrez battles for the rebound. She comes out of the crowd with the ball, brings it to the Mitchell offensive end, driving, dishing. Hobbs, pull up jumper, free throw line, count it. Avery Hobbs with 5. 21-6, and a timeout on the floor, a 30-second timeout taken by Gering head coach Steve Land. We'll keep it right here. Well, Logos is your home for all your screen printing and embroidery needs. Shop the showroom or have something custom made from Logos at 1344 10th Street in Gering. And Monument Physical Therapy in Gering offers the Bumps and Bruises program, offering 1 free consultation and 1 free follow-up for all area athletes. Monument Physical Therapy in Gering. And Russell's Automotive, your family-owned go-to for all your quality automotive repair needs. Stay with us at halftime. We'll recap the scoring in this one as Jackie Bowell in for the first time. She got into the game last night, late in the game, against Scotts Bluff. (34-20), Huskers lead it, and Luke McCaffrey is into the ball game. Adrian Martinez out with a shoulder injury. Gering with the ball out of the timeout. Here's Ohio for a 3 from the left side. Misses everything as Sid Winkler runs it down and loses her balance and goes to the floor, and the ball will go over to Mitchell. They've gone on a mini run 3-0 here in this second quarter. Pressure by Gering. Kano with it. Back to Hobbs as they work it in the backcourt. Quickly into the front court. Hobbs just gets it across the 10-second line, trying to avoid the double team. She finds Kano on the right wing. Kano inside the arc now, pulls it back out. Looking left side, Gutierrez with a three, and Gutierrez knocked to the floor on the three-point attempt, and she'll go to the free throw line for 3 free throws. As the foul was on Rios. That'll be the first on her, but Gutierrez at the charity stripe for 3 free throws. And she drains the first one. Gutierrez with 2. 21-7. Second one on the way. That one finds the mark. She's 2 for 2. 21-8 is Bowell checking out, and it'll put Josie Jenkins back into the Mitchell lineup. Trying to make it 3 for 3, and Gutierrez good from the free throw line. All 4 of her points have come from the charity stripe. 21-9, Gering. 2 minutes, 50 seconds left first half. Sid Winkler on the dribble out front, trying to get a screen. They try to work it down low to Pazanka, tipped away into the hands of Chloe Freeze. Her shot from the right side doesn't go, runs down, long rebound to Ohio, dishes down low. Rios there, and Rios lays it up and in. Make it 23-9 with 2:26 left here in the first half. At the Mitchell end as they work right to left. To Kano on the wing, right side. There's Gutierrez, drives into the paint, dishes, finds Chambers, can't make the layup, and the rebound, the held ball is 3 bodies go to the floor, 1 Gering player, 2 Mitchell players, and the possession arrow keeps the ball at the Mitchell end. With 2:11 left. Toss in, out on top, Hobbs with it. Right side pass, Kano holds it, skip pass, back to Gutierrez on the left side. She'll bring it out beyond the arc and shuffles her feet. And the turnover gives the ball back to Gering with 1:58 left here in the first half. Winkler into the front court at the Gering offensive end, takes it to the left side. Now fires it back to Freeze on the right side. Chloe into the paint, to the basket, off the front iron. But Freeze will go to the free throw line to shoot 2. She was fouled on the way to the basket, and the foul was on McKenna Chambers. She picks up her first 7th foul on Mitchell. So Gering in the 1-1, both teams in the 1-1. Freeze off with the first one. Second one on the way, that one around the rim, and that falls in for Chloe Freeze. She's got 7. 24-9. Gering on top, pressure now by Gering. Gutierrez in the backcourt ahead to Kano. Kano brings it into the offensive end with 1:34 left. She's got it. Top of the key, she'll take it. Top of the key, fire the 3. Missed the mark. Chambers with the offensive board. Back to Kano from 15 feet away. Off the mark. Here's Josie Jenkins, has it stripped away. We'll have a foul on Sid Winkler, and that'll be her second. And Jenkins fouled in the act of shooting. She'll be at the free throw line to shoot 2. First one on the way. Off the mark, long rebound, gets her own rebound, puts it at, can't convert on that one. Rebound tipped around as Winkler and Ohio battling each other for the long rebound, and it went out of bounds. It'll remain with Mitchell at their offensive end with 1:16 left here in the first half. Toss in comes to Gutierrez. Work it to Hobbs on the left side, on the wing, holding. Now she'll put it on the floor. Back to Kano. Kano holds the ball above her head. against this Gering defense. Right side. Hobbs looking. Now Kano with it as we go underneath a minute, 52 seconds. Kano with the left-handed dribble, goes to the left side, puts up with the left hand, blocked by Pazanka. Sid Winkler on the push for Gering. Takes it top of the key, gets a screen from Rios. Look down low, here's Pazanka, double team. She'll take it to the basket, that's blocked, but she'll draw the foul. No, they'll say it's a jump ball. And the possession arrow keeps it at the Gering end. So they will inbound underneath their own basket, baseline left with 32 seconds left. Quickly into freeze, top of the key. Winkler looked at the three, didn't take it to a while for a three left side, too strong. Mitchell comes down with the rebound. Kano into the offensive end with 20 seconds left. Hobbs with it, right side outside, gets a screen, takes it, dishes to Gutierrez. Gutierrez into the paint, quickly to Chambers, 9 seconds left. Back to Kano, stolen away by Awayo on the run out, misses the free throw, or the layup I should say. Quickly the other way, Kano half court at the buzzer, off the mark, and that ends the first half. At the end of one, your score, Gering 24, Mitchell 9 on the West Coast scoreboard.
Western CPAP Supply has an impeccable professional reputation within the Wyoming and Western Nebraska region. Helping you get a good night's sleep is our passion. Our professional team understands sleep disorders from a personal and professional level because we have sleep disorders too. We use CPAP every night, and sometimes it just helps to work with people who share common ground. Our accredited CPAP supply company is approved by Medicare and Medicaid and is in network with most major insurance companies in the region. Western CPAP Supply. We're here to help.
Come in and see gifts for everyone at TC and More.
And welcome back to Gering High School. We're at halftime of the girls' third place game. And the Gering Lady Bulldogs with a comfortable 24-9 lead here at halftime. Gering led 14-3 at the end of the first 8 minutes. And they outscore Mitchell in the second quarter by a count of 10-6 to grab a 24-9 lead here at halftime. We'll come back and recap the individual scoring for both these teams and your score at the half. Gering 24, Mitchell 9 on the West Coast scoreboard.
Hey, I've been hanging out here a long time outside of Panhandle Auto Group, and boy, do they have a great selection of vehicles.
And their sales team is great to work with, and you can also get your vehicle serviced and detailed too.
Welcome to Panhandle Auto. This is Sam Serta, General Sales Manager. It's been our pleasure to serve you for the past 2 years. At Panhandle Auto, we have a seat for everybody. Whether you need a vehicle for yourself, a son, or daughter, our team will go above and beyond to satisfy your needs and even your dreams. So again, thank you from Sam Serta, General Sales Manager at Panhandle Auto, for allowing us to earn your business. At Panhandle Auto,
it's time for something different.
Hydrozen. Unplug and recharge. What is Hydrozen? It's total body relaxation. It's total body recharge. It's floating weightless on water. Floating your aches, pains, stresses, and worries away. Hydrozen is a revolutionary new therapy using Epsom salt saturated water as a way to relax and rejuvenate your body. And it's now available in Scottsbluff. It is for most ages and has many benefits to the mind and body. Visit hydrozenfloat.com or call us at 308-63-FLOAT.
Back at Gering High School here at halftime. Gering on top 24-9 over Mitchell. And let's take a look at the individual scoring. On the Mitchell side, Angelica Gutierrez with 4 points and Avery Hobbs with 5. That is the only scoring on the Mitchell side of the ledger. For Gering, led in scoring in the first half by Kiera Awayo with 8 points. Chloe Fries right behind her with 7. Carly Pazanka with 6 in the first half. 2 points for Anabea Rios and 1 point here at halftime for Maddie Seiler. So Gering leads it 24-9 here at halftime, and we'll come back with more from Gering as we're in the girls' third place game of the 2020 Western Conference Tournament, and Gering right now holds a 24-9 lead on the West Coast scoreboard.
Find out what convenient really means at the Western Travel Terminal. Start with our great selection of food and drinks, from for real milkshakes and fresh brewed coffee to snacks and hot food. Next, check out our beer and spirits with their everyday low prices. Finally, let us work for you with our full-service gas station and automatic truck and car wash. All this can be found at 822 South Beltline in Scottsbluff. Western Travel Terminal, your convenient shopping, restaurant, and full-service gas leader.
Coverage of the 2020 Western Conference Basketball Tournament is brought to you by Panhandle Auto Group, Runza Restaurants, The Zone at Scottsbluff Screen Printing, and by Chimney Rock Chiropractic.
Welcome back to Gering. Halftime. Gering on top 24-9 in the girls' third place game. And of course, all of these Western Conference Tournament games have been available to you on KNEB.TV on Allo Channel 15 and Allo Channel 190. And of course, all 18 of these games in this tournament that started on Thursday have been available on KNEB.TV. As of course, we have limited attendance here. Only family members of players and coaches are allowed into the facility, and then they do clear the gym in between each game and bring in the family members for the next game. And that next game here will pit Scottsbluff against Chadron for the championship. In the third place game, though, it's Gering 24-9 here at halftime, and we'll come back with more as Gering leads at 24-9 on the West Coast scoreboard.
Coverage of the 2020 Western Conference Basketball Tournament is brought to you by B&C Steel, Buyers Realty, WNCC, Extreme Dense, and by Platte Valley Companies.
Jeff Kelly back with you here at Gering High School. We're at halftime of the girls' third place game of this Western Conference tournament, a 3-day tournament that started last Thursday. And for Gering, they lost to Sydney Thursday 55-52, but they got a win over Alliance last night 67-21. And for Mitchell, they lost to Chadron 39-6 Thursday, and they lost to Scottsbluff last night 54-27. Fifth place in the girls' side of the tournament went to Sydney as they defeated Alliance 54-2 is the final score in that game, and that is the correct score, as Alliance was held scoreless in the second half of the ball game. The only points they scored came with 4 minutes and 23 seconds in the second quarter as a running clock throughout the second half of that game, as Sydney claims fifth place as they defeat Alliance 54-2 was the final score in the girls' fifth place game. On the boys' side, Sydney also claims fifth place. The boys defeat Gering 58-49 was the final score there. Both teams back out on the floor. We're getting set for the start of the second half. Let's take another break and we'll come back with the start of the third quarter with Gering on top 24-9 on the West Coast scoreboard.
Holiday recycling tips.
The holidays bring wrapping paper, boxes, and trees. Remember, when done with these items, recycle them. Wrapping paper can be collected and recycled in one of the city's recycling bins. Boxes can be collapsed and stored to use later or recycled. Finally, your old Christmas tree can be dropped off at this location. This holiday season, give thanks and a start to a healthier new year. Meet at Tri-City Stormwater.
Coverage of the 2020 Western Conference Basketball Tournament is brought to you by Shelter Insurance Agent Travis Hawk, Panhandle Co-op, All Reed Construction, and by Ideal Linen.
And Gering on top 24-9 as Mitchell will have the ball to start this third quarter. As they work left to right. Set the lineup for you here for Gering in just a minute, but Mitchell with the ball as Hobbs driving. Shot rolls off. Ohio comes down with the rebound. Kiera on the push up the left side, finds Winkler. Sid, three ball on the way, off the mark. Rebound will go out of bounds. It'll be Mitchell's ball. Chloe Free, Sid Winkler, Kiera Ohio, Nikki Todd, and Carly Pazanka, the five on the floor for Gering here to start this second half as Kano brings it in the offensive end for Mitchell. She's got it top of the key with a deep three, that one off the mark. Ohio comes down with the rebound, long down-court pass, Freeze there. She'll throw it up at the basket and throw it in. I think she was looking to pass to Carly Pazanka, but put the shot up, and it went in off the glass. 26-9, Gering, 7:10 left here in the third quarter. And Kano called for double dribble. And it'll be Gering's ball. Gering in the road blue uniforms this afternoon. They're the visitor, white letters and numbers trimmed in gold. Mitchell in the home whites, orange letters and numbers trimmed in black. Ohio holds it on the wing, bounce in the corner to Winkler right side, inside the arc. Sid with a jumper. Off the mark, long rebound pulled down by Kano. Quickly the other way. Kano into the offensive end, between the circles. Now takes it left side. Looking, finds Margie Schmidt. She'll bring it to the right side. Here's Hobbs. Nothing doing. Gering in a 2-3 zone. Inside they go to Jenkins. Back outside Hobbs. Baseline jumper. That rattles in. 26-11. As driving at the Gering end is Chloe Freeze. That's off the mark. The rebound comes down to Mitchell. Kano with it, center court to the free throw line now, pulls it back out. Margie Schmidt on the right side gets a screen on the pick and roll down low to Josie Jenkins. And she loses the handle, and it'll be a turnover back to Gering. 6 minutes left here, third quarter. Winkler walks it across the 10-second line, works with it left hand, hands it to Freeze. Freeze trying to split a double team, and she'll draw the foul. As the foul was on Mitchell's Josie Jenkins. That'll be the first team foul as Gering on the inbounds inside to Todd. Nothing doing. Back outside to Pazanka. Bounces down low. Baseline Freeze, but the ball's stolen away by Mitchell. Kano the other way into Hobbs from the corner. Deep three, and she's fouled by Sid Winkler. And that'll put Avery Hobbs at the free throw line to shoot 3 free throws. Third foul personal on Sid Winkler. as Hobbs hits the first one. She's got 8. Makes it 26-12. Second one off, no good. And Sid Winkler will sit down with those 3 personals as Maddie Seiler checks back in. Seiler, or check that, Hobbs with the with the free throw. She hits that one, 2 for 3. 26-13 with 5.5 minutes left in the third quarter. Seiler gives it up to Pazanka in the right corner to a cutting Chloe Freeze, and she loses the handle on her way to the basket. It's out of bounds. It'll be Mitchell's ball as they trail it by 13 points. They trail 24-9 at halftime. Kano into the front court, down the right side to the basket, loses the handle, loose ball picked up by Mitchell, outside to Schmidt, her 3 off the mark. Long rebound comes down to Hobbs. They go inside to Jenkins against Nikki Todd to the basket, tries to go up and under, shot doesn't go, but she'll go to the free throw line to shoot 2. Foul was on Nikki. That'll be her 3rd. So Sid Winkler, Nikki Todd with 3 personal fouls here. Jenkins off on the first one. Sid Winkler on the bench with those 3 personal fouls. Nikki Todd remains in the game. Second one on the way. That one's good by Jenkins, her first points of the game. 26-14. Seiler, here's Chloe Freeze on the right wing, holds the ball, top of the key to Ohio, dishes baseline to Pazanka. They try to go inside to Ohio, loose ball on the floor, and the held ball, the possession arrow gives the ball to Mitchell. 4:47 left in the third quarter, 26-14. Gering leads it. Schmidt into the front court for Mitchell, in the right corner to Hobbs. Hobbs holding. They work it to Schmidt, back to Hobbs on the right side, nothing doing, 2-3 Gering zone. Here's Kano for a 3 ball, and the air ball will give the possession back to Gering with 4 minutes and 28 seconds left. Seiler tapping her head as she brings it into the front court, finds Ohio on the right wing. Kiera, top of the key on the pass, quickly left side. Here's Seiler, bounce inside to Nikki Todd. Todd down low on the left block, and she's tied up by Jenkins. And the held ball, keep it at the Gering end. So Ohio to inbound. Quickly into Seiler, left side, baseline, ball stripped away. Seiler regains to Ohio. Kiera into the paint, loses the handle, loose ball picked up by Chambers on the push. Underhand pass to Hobbs on the right side, back to Chambers. Quickly to Kano on the left side. She'll reset the offense for Mitchell. Play with it out on top. Chambers driving, loses the handle, and then kicks it out of bounds. And another turnover and a timeout taken by head coach Steve Land. 1:25 left third quarter, 26-14 Gering on the West Coast scoreboard.
Many people count on space heaters and electric blankets to help stay warm in the winter. Here are a few safety tips. Space heaters need space all around them. Only buy space heaters that are tested and labeled by a national recognized facility. Before using a space heater or electric blanket, inspect the cord for cracks or warm spots. Finally, turn off electric blankets when not in use. Space heaters and electric blankets can provide needed comfort or can be deadly if not used with care. So use caution this winter season. This message is brought to you by Roosevelt Public Power District, your touchstone energy partner, the power of human connections.
Our Black Friday sale is back at Renewal by Anderson of Wyoming for 15 days only. Receive 20% off every replacement window with 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments for 18 months. So keep your cash and spend ours. Purchase 3 windows and get a $500 Visa card. Purchase 4 to 7 windows and get an $800 Visa card. Or get a $1,500 Visa card when you purchase 8 to 12 windows. Hurry, this offer is only available from November 27th through December 11th. Merry Christmas to you from Renewal by Anderson of Wyoming. Call 307-215-7493.
3:45 left here in the third quarter in the girls' third place game here in the Western Conference Tournament. And a low scoring affair. Gering leads it 26-14. Gering to inbound pressure by Mitchell. They get it into Seiler. She splits a double team into the Gering offensive end. Ahead to Ohio. Drives baseline. The runner doesn't go. And she'll draw the foul as Margie Schmidt tried to draw the charge. That'll be the third on Schmidt. And that'll put Kiara Ohio at the free throw line. First free throw on the way, up and good. Ohio with 9 points last night. She's matched that here in this game. Second one on the way. That one rattles in. And Ohio with 10. Gering by 14, 28-14 here. Angelica Gutierrez is in for the Mitchell Lady Tigers. Gives it up to Hobbs. Drive, dish. Kano driving. And a foul prior to the shot. And so Mitchell will inbound far sideline at their offensive end as they move left to right here in this first half. Inbounds toss comes to Avery Hobbs. Left side to Gutierrez, who drains a wide open three. Angelica Gutierrez with 7. 28-17. Gering, 3:19 left in the third quarter. Seiler, high post. Todd dishes down low. Ohio cutting baseline. Layup doesn't go. Battle for the rebound as Seiler comes out of there with it. Back to Freeze, ball fake, the runner off the glass, rolls around, won't fall, and a battle for the rebound as Chloe Freeze goes to the floor. And it'll be Mitchell ball. 3 minutes left here in the third quarter as Briley Dean off the Gering bench. Saw some action in the first half. She comes in here in this third quarter. Gutierrez into the front court for Gering. Here's Kano with it. Jenkins pops out quickly to Gutierrez, looking down low for Chambers, or check that, for Chambers, not there. Hobbs pulls it out. Kano, lob it inside. Josie Jenkins against the double team, thinks better of it, kicks it out to Chambers, and Chambers gets called for traveling. And the turnover gives the ball back to Gering with 2 minutes and 37 seconds left. Huskers with a 10-point lead, 37-27 in the fourth quarter. Maddie Seiler on the dribble right side, now brings it top of the key. Left side to Pazanka. Carly drives, shot too strong. And the rebound couldn't be corralled by Nikki Todd, and they'll go to Mitchell here with 2:22 left. Canny Banks in for Mitchell or Josie Jenkins. And now we've got I think we have a substitution as Sid Winkler will come in for Carly Pazanka on the Gering side. Sid Winkler playing with 3 personal fouls. Mitchell with it. Here's Kano, top of the key to Gutierrez. Another 3 on the way. Comes up short, front iron. Winkler comes down with a rebound on the push. Ahead to Seiler. Down in the corner to Jean. Her shot doesn't go. Rebound comes out to Ohio to Sid Winkler. A deep 3 that's off the mark. Long rebound comes down in the hands of Kano. Starts up the floor, takes the top of the key, into the paint. Shot doesn't go, but the blocking foul called on Sid Winkler. And that will be the 4th on her. 4th team foul on Gering as Jaden Kano at the free throw line drains the first one. It's her first points of the game as she had 11 last night. Hits them both. She's got 2. And And it's a 9-point Gering lead as Nikki Todd will sit down with those 3 personal fouls. Chloe Freeze back in to the Gering lineup. Maddie Seiler at the controls, brings it across the 10-second line. Fires a pass to Sid Winkler. Winkler guarded heavily. Finally, Chloe Freeze gets it, a minute and a half left as Freeze drives to the basket. Shot doesn't go. And the rebound tipped around and out of bounds. It'll be Mitchell ball. Minute 24 left. As Gutierrez into the front court. Here's Chambers with it on the right side. Looking down low, they find Banks, but the pass just a little bit too hard for her to handle. And another turnover for Mitchell, gives it to Gering. And Nikki Todd back into the Gering lineup for Sid Winkler. She sits down with those 4 personal fouls here. As Seiler at the controls, tries to get it to Awayo, and it's knocked away and a held ball, and the possession will keep it at the Gering end. Todd will inbound, right in front of the Gering bench. Toss into Seiler. Maddie to the basket, dishes down low, finds Freeze, can't convert on the layup, but she draws the foul. That'll put Chloe Freeze at the free throw line with 57 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter. Freeze first free throw off the mark, no good. Chloe with 8 points last night. She's got 9 here in the game. She had 7 at halftime. Second free throw, Chloe drains that one. She's got 10. It's a 10-point Gering lead with 57 seconds left as Carly Pazanka checks back in. Comes in with that right hand taped up. Gutierrez into the offensive end for Mitchell. They lob it inside, look for Banks. Banks can't convert on the layup. Seiler comes down with the rebound on the push, looking up court on the right side. She'll get it to Chloe Freeze. Freeze into the paint, tried to bounce it, lost the handle, regains to the basket, puts it up, misses the mark, and the rebound last touched as it goes out of bounds by Gering. It'll be Mitchell ball with 33 seconds left, and the Lady Tigers trailing by 10 here. Mitchell left to right. Here's Hobbs, bounce inside to Banks, and then Banks fouled by Briley Dean. That'll be the first on Briley. So Mitchell will inbound underneath their own basket, baseline left, toss out on top, Gutierrez. Gutierrez dishes, Hobbs with it, takes it to the right side to Kano for a 3 ball. Off the mark, rebound tipped around. Jenkins can't save it from going out of bounds. It'll be Gering ball with 15 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter. Stay with us, we'll have the championship game, Chadron and Scotts Bluff. As Seiler brings it into the offensive end with 9 seconds left. Here's a wild right side, Pazanka puts it on the floor, drives, tries to dish it to Seiler, and the pass goes off her hands, out of bounds. It'll be Mitchell's ball with 3 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter. Gutierrez on the inbound. As the pass goes through the hands of Hobbs, as she wanted to get to the offensive end of the floor, but forgot to take the ball with her, so it'll be Gering's ball with 1.7 seconds left. Pazanka to trigger it in at the offensive end to Freeze at the buzzer, off the mark, no good, and that ends the 3rd quarter. At the end of 3, Gering 29, Mitchell 19 on the West Coast scoreboard.
Are you looking for the perfect place to hold a wedding, family reunion, holiday office party, or business meeting? Well, look no further. The Hampton Inn and Suites Hotel and Conference Center is just the place for you. We're a full-service banquet facility that can host up to 400 of your guests. Stop in and see our spacious open-concept meeting rooms and begin planning your special event or family gathering today. Let us do the work for you so you can enjoy your guests. For personal service, stop by the Hampton Inn and Suites front desk.
Coverage of the 2020 Western Conference Basketball Tournament is brought to you by Elite Physical Therapy, FNBO, A. Elliott Law, Northfield Retirement, and by Western Nebraska Regional Airport.
Jeff Kelly back at Gering High School as we go to the fourth quarter. 29-19, Gering on top. Third place at stake here in the 2020 Western Conference Tournament. And Mitchell has the ball to start this final 8 minutes. Gutierrez on the left side, looking inside, nothing there as they look for Jenkins. Back to Kano. Kano against Seiler. Set the Gering lineup for you here in just a minute. Kano into the paint, puts up a shot off the mark. Riley Dean comes down with the rebound and has it knocked away from behind. It'll remain Gering ball. Maddie Seiler, Carly Pazanka, Kiera Wyo, Briley Dean, and Chloe Freeze. 5 on the floor for Gering in the road blue uniforms here tonight. As Gering moves from right to left here in this second half. Freeze, top of the key, takes it right side, dips it inside, finds Pazanka too far underneath. Her layup doesn't go. And officials conferring and not sure who touched it last. They're going to keep it at the Gering end. So Gering will retain possession, leading by 10. As Chloe Freeze to trigger the inbound, quickly into Wyo, top of the key, Seiler, inside to Freeze, throws up a shot from the free throw line, off balance, misses the mark. Dean comes down with it, Seiler with the baseline jumper. Off the mark, Mitchell comes the other way. Kano fires a pass looking down low for Hobbs, and she throws it over her head out of bounds. Turnover Mitchell. It'll be Gering's ball as Nikki Todd back into the Gering lineup, playing with 3 personal fouls. Seiler out top to a cutting Wyo, throws up a shot from the right side, doesn't go. Rebound knocked around loose on the floor. And held ball. And let's see, the possession arrow will give the ball to Gering. Underneath their own basket will be baseline left. Here's Sid Wing, or check that, Maddie Seiler on top to Wyo. Kiera driving the runner, up and good. Wyo with a dozen points. Gering 31-19 here. 6:53 left in the game. Mitchell with it. Josie Jenkins. The Kano on the right wing. Gutierrez pops out, top of the key, 3 ball. Back iron, rebound battle for. And it'll go off of Jenkins, and it'll be Gering's ball as Margie Schmidt in for Gutierrez on the Mitchell side. Seiler will walk it into the offensive end for Gering as they work right to left here in this second half. To Freeze. Back to Wyo on the right side, inside to Pazanka. Her shot blocked by Chambers. Keep it at the Gering end here with 6:22 left. Stay with us. We'll have the Runs of Post-Game show and name our Taco John's player of the game. Wyo triggers the inbound as Seiler loses the handle, goes to the floor, regains, and Steve Land wants a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it right here. And once again, thanks some of our sponsors bringing this game to you on KNEB.TV. They include the Western Nebraska Regional Airport, Northfield Retirement, Audrey Elliott Law, FNBO, Elite Physical Therapy, Ideal Linen, Paul Reed Construction, Panhandle Co-op, Shelter Insurance, Travis Hawk, Farm Bureau, Sean Harvey. Contact Jennifer Urdialis, your local 5-star lender with Castle and Cook Mortgage, for a simple, friendly, and fast loan process for your home purchase or refinance. Contact Jennifer today. Castle and Cook Mortgage, the key to your castle. Out of the timeout, Gering will have the ball at their offensive end as Carly Pazanko will inbound near sideline. She'll get it in baseline to Freeze, back to Pazanka. She drives left side off the glass. Shot doesn't go, but she draws the foul. That'll put Carly Pazanka at the line for the first time this afternoon. 6 points for Carly in the first half. She's been held scoreless here in the second half, and she'll get 2 foul shots here. As first one off the mark. Scottsbluff and Chadron for the championship. Chadron looking to defend their 2019 Western Conference championship, but a tough order with Scottsbluff on the agenda. Pazanka good on the second one. 32-19. Gering with 6 minutes, 11 seconds left in the game. Avery Hobbs on the dribble, right side, bounce inside, down low to Chambers. Her shot blocked from behind, but one official said it went out of bounds. Another one said it was a foul. And the foul was on Carly Pazanka. That'll be the second on her, 6th team foul on Gering. And Chambers, fouled in the act of shooting, will get free throws. She drains the first one. 32-20. Second one on the way off the front iron. Rebound comes down to Freeze. Gives it up to Seiler. She brings it into the offensive end for Gering to Ohio on the right side. Holds the ball above her head looking. They'll whip it down low to Pazanka. She can handle it on the hard pass, and it goes out of bounds. And the turnover gives it right back to Mitchell. Trailing by a dozen here. 5:49 left in the contest. Kano into the front court, almost loses the handle, regains. Looks down low, they get it inside to Chambers. Chambers outside to Canny Banks. Banks at the free throw line, quickly to Kano in the corner. Here's Avery Hobbs on the left side, takes it to the free throw line, finds Kano. Kano kick out, now they go down low to Chambers against Pazanka. And Pazanka commits her 4th personal foul. And that'll put Chambers at the free throw line once again. And the scoreboard says the 3rd personal foul on Carly, 7th team foul on Gering. So Mitchell in the bonus for the final 5:24 of the game. Chambers drains the first one. 32-21. Chambers can make it a 10-point game here. Second one on the way. That one's up and good. And we've got a 10-point ball game here with 5:21 left. Sid Winkler in the ball game, turns and hands it to Chloe Freeze in the corner. They go to Maddie Seiler. She'll give it up to Nikki Todd. Todd looking, holds the ball above her head, out on top Winkler. Winkler splits defenders to the basket, off the glass, won't roll in. As Winkler goes to the floor. And the foul was on Canny Banks. And that'll put Sid Winkler at the free throw line. Winkler's first free throw off the mark. She'll get one more. 5 minutes, 3 seconds left in the game. 32-22. Gering on top by 10. Make it 11. As Winkler drains that one, the first points for her in the ball game. 33-22, an 11-point Gering advantage, 4:58 left. Mitchell works it into Kenny Banks down low, back outside. Hobbs, jumper in close, doesn't go. Banks comes out with the rebound. To Kano, to Chambers, looks to three, now she'll put it on the floor. Try to pass, but the pass stolen away by Freeze. Freeze on the run out is Schmidt, steals it right back. Schmidt the other way quickly for Mitchell. Cross-court pass intended for Kano, intercepted by Winkler. Winkler on the run out all the way to the basket, too strong. Schmidt comes down with the rebound. Fast and furious action here by both these teams. Kano ahead, Hobbs, three ball, off the mark, no good. Pazanka comes down with the rebound. She throws it away, his body's on the floor as both Maddie Seiler, Jaden Kano go to the floor. And the foul was on Maddie Seiler. And that'll put Jaden Kano at the free throw line. Third personal on Maddie Seiler. And she drains the first one. Jaden Kano with three. Ten-point game as she hits them both. 33-24, Kano with four. 4:12 left in the game. Maddie Seiler holds it right side, outside, top of the key. Chloe Freeze. Picked up by Hobbs. She drives, puts up a shot with the right hand, misses the mark. Pazanka with the offensive rebound. Her put back too strong. But Carly will go to the free throw line with 4 minutes left. And Gering on top by 9. First free throw by Carly. That one misses the mark. As Kiera Wyo into the Gering lineup for Maddie Seiler. And checking in for, or check that, Jaden Kano still in the ball game. Pazanka's second free throw off, no good. Banks comes down with the rebound. Mitchell from left to right as Schmidt brings it into the front court. To Hobbs on the right side. They try to lob it inside, looking down low for Chambers, and it goes over her head out of bounds. That'll give the ball back to Gering with 3:46 left in the game. Winkler into the front court. Pass at the feet of Pazanka. She picks it up on the left side. Freeze with it. Bounces the ball off her foot. Loose ball picked up by Hobbs to the basket. She's fouled on her way to the basket by Freeze. And Chloe will pick up her first personal foul. And that will put Avery Hobbs at the free throw line to shoot 1-1 with 3 minutes and 27 seconds left here in the contest. First one up and good. She's got 10 in the game. 33-25. Hobbs good on both of those. 7-point Gering lead. 3:25 left. Winkler into the front court. Picked up by Kano. To Awio on the left side. Awio drives, dishes. Back to Winkler at the free throw line extended. Now she'll pull it back out. Finds Awio. Drives right side. And she's fouled on her way to the basket by McKenna Chambers. And it'll be the second on Chambers. That'll put Kiera Awio at the free throw line. 8th team foul on Mitchell. And that'll be a 4th team foul on Chambers. And Sean Harvey calling for a timeout. And it is a full timeout. Minute 30, or time left in the 4th quarter, and we'll take the break. 33-26, Gering leads it on the West Coast scoreboard.
Logos in Gering is the place to get all of your school spirit gear, personalized gifts, and promotional items for your business and employees, and banners for any special event. Logos is also the only place to stop for custom screen printing or embroidery. You can even design it yourself on their interactive website. Stop into Logos today. They'll design it, print it, and have it to you in no time. There's no job too big or small for Logos. That's Logos in Gering.
Some people think Allstate only protects your car. Here's the truth. Allstate can also protect your home or apartment, as well as your boat, motorcycle, RV, and snowmobile, and even your retirement and your life. Not many insurance companies can say that, but Allstate can.
Bundle and save with Allstate. In Gering, call Allstate agent Michael Inglehop for a quote today at 308-436-2123.
3:09 left in the game. Gering with a 33-26 lead. And Kiera Wyo at the free throw line. First one on the way, that one off the mark. And free throws have been a little bit of a struggle here for Gering this afternoon. Wyo's second one, that one on the way, that finds the bottom of the net. And Wyo with 13. 34-26 Gering. Gutierrez with it for Mitchell, finds Hobb on the right side, back to Gutierrez. Inside they go to Banks. Banks into the paint, goes up and under and scores it. Canny Banks, her first basket of the game. 34-28 as Pazanka drives and scores at the Gering end. 36-28 with 2:37 left. Here's Hobbs driving as Winkler draws the charge. The offensive foul gives the ball to Gering. As Mitchell sets up full court pressure here as the foul was on. Avery Hobbs, her second. Freeze ahead to Wyo. Gering with it in the offensive end. She'll hand it to Winkler. Winkler brings it top of the key. Freeze on the left side. They run the weave out front. Back to Wyo. Here's Pazanka. Carly puts it on the floor. Drives. Schmidt knocks it out of her hands. It'll remain at the Gering end with 2 minutes and 12 seconds left in the game. Wyo to inbound underneath the Gering basket. Toss in comes to Winkler. Sid into the paint, puts it up. Off the mark, rebound battle for Pazanka comes out of there. Loose on the rebound, and Steve Land calling for a timeout. And let's see, a 30-second timeout, and we'll take it with him. 36-28, Gering leads it on the West Coast scoreboard.
You may look forward to spending the seasons with family in your home, but not when these critters come knocking on your door. That's where Benzel Pest Control saves the day. Family owned since 1976, we provide prompt, professional, and efficient services to keep your home or business safe and secure all year round.
With 3 generations and more than 4 decades of service to the Nebraska Panhandle and Southeast Wyoming, Benzel Pest Control is the only name in all seasons pest defense.
At 21st Century Equipment, we're proud to introduce the new Build Your Own tool. Build the John Deere you've been wanting and see how affordable it really is. Visit 21stcenturyequipment.net to build your own compact utility tractor, mower, or gator. It's easy to add implements, attachments, and view financing options. Build the exact tractor for your needs at a price you can afford, all from the comfort and safety of home, with the new Build Your Own tool at 21stcenturyequipment.net.
Out of the timeout, Gering on top, 36-28 with 2:03 left in the game. And Gering will inbound at their offensive end as Wyo on the bounce inside to Freeze. The shot off the glass and in. Chloe Freeze with a dozen. And Gering's opened up a 10-point lead with 1:53 left. Mitchell inside, they go to Banks, a spin move on Todd, rebound comes down to Banks. Kick out Gutierrez for a three, back iron, high rebound. Chloe comes out of there with it up the left side. Now she'll wait for the traffic to go by and give it up to Sid Winkler. Winkler on the dribble to Freeze. 90 seconds left in the game, and Freeze fouled by Gutierrez. Huskers get the win, 37-27 over Purdue. And Chloe Freeze at the free throw line. First foul on Gutierrez, but that's the 10th team foul on Mitchell. So the double bonus for Gering, and Chloe Freeze will get 2 free throws here. First one on the way. Bottom of the net for Chloe Freeze. She's got 13. 39-28. Second one on the way. That one's up and good. 40-28. Chloe Freeze with 14. Driving and dishing is Gutierrez to Hobbs. The runner in the paint doesn't go. Banks with the rebound put back. Canny Banks with 4. 40-30, a 10-point Gering lead, 1:18 left. Into the front court with it. Sid Winkler trying to avoid the double team. Pass stolen away by Schmidt. Stolen back by Awayo. Kiera with it out front. Underhand pass to Freeze. They'll move it quickly. Pazanka to Winkler trying to avoid getting fouled. Here's Awayo to Freeze. Double team, and Chloe fouled, and she'll go to the free throw line. And that'll put Chloe Freeze at the free throw line to shoot 2. 59 seconds left in the game. And down the stretch, Chloe Freeze, 3 straight free throws. Second one on the way, that one off the front iron. Mitchell comes down with it. Gutierrez quickly up the floor into the Mitchell offensive end. The Kano ball fake, she puts up the shot off the mark. Bazanka comes down with the ball. 45 seconds left. Winkler into the offensive end for Gering, keeping the dribble alive, and gives it up to Freeze, but she's fouled before that. And that'll put Sid Winkler at the free throw line with 39 seconds left. 2 foul shots for Sid Winkler. Drains the first one. Foul was on Avery Hobbs. She picks up her 4th. Here's the second one by Winkler. She's good on both of those. Down the stretch, Gering's done a better job from the free throw line. 35 seconds left. Gering on top, 43-30. They go inside the Banks. The shot put up against Nikki Todd. Nikki picks up her 4th personal foul, and both teams in the double bonus. So Banks with 2 free throws here with 30.8 seconds left in the game. She drains the first one. These 2 teams will meet up next Thursday. Banks with the second one. She's good on both of those. She's got 6. 43-32 Gering as Winkler fouled coming up the floor. So we will walk to the Gering free throw line for 2 foul shots for Sid Winkler. And it brings McKenna Chambers into the Mitchell lineup, as fouling out is Margie Schmidt. That was her 5th personal foul right there. As Winkler good on the first one. Gering down the stretch has been good from the free throw line. Winkler with the second one, and she's got 5 points. All have come from the free throw line tonight. 45-32 Gering. Driving is Hobbs, pull up baseline jumper off the mark. Banks comes down with the rebound. She'll kick it out to Gutierrez, quickly to Kano for a quick three. Off the mark, rebound tipped around. Awayo comes out of there with it, up the sideline. And Gutierrez knocks it out of bounds. It'll remain with Gering with 9 seconds left. Gering will claim third place as the inbounds pass comes to Winkler, holds it on her hip, now brings it into the offensive end. 4 seconds left. Winkler out on top with the dribble, and Gering will take third place here in the Western Conference Tournament as they defeat Mitchell. 45-32 is your final score. We'll come back with the Runza postgame show, but Gering wins it 45-32 on the West Coast scoreboard.
Coverage of the 2020 Western Conference Basketball Tournament is brought to you by Prime Metal Products, Papa Murphy's, Farm Bureau Agent Sean Harvey, and by John's Body Shop.
Exceptional care, right here at home. That's the mission of Morrill County Community Hospital. Morrill County Community Hospital is a 20-bed critical access hospital that owns and operates clinics throughout Bridgeport, including specialty outreach clinics and Morrill County Home Health Clinic, as well as Chimney Rock Medical Center, located in Bayard. Our dedicated team is committed to you and our community every time at Morrill County Community Hospital, Bridgeport, Nebraska.
(45-32), Gering claims third place here in the 2020 Western Conference Tournament as they defeat Mitchell 45-32. Gering started out hot. They led 14-3 at the end of the first quarter. At halftime, it was Gering 24-19, but Mitchell outscoring Gering in the third quarter 10-5, but Mitchell still trailed by 10. 29-19. In the fourth quarter, Mitchell got it to as close as 34-28, but down the stretch, free throws by Gering put this game away as they opened up a 12-point lead, but end up winning by 13, 45-32. Well, this is the Runza Post Game Show. Runza doesn't like to think of themselves as just another restaurant. They like to think of themselves as part of the community. Runza with locations in Scottsbluff, Gering, and Chadron. We'll come back, look at the individual scoring in this one, but your final score, Gering 45, Mitchell 32 on the West Coast scoreboard.
Welcome to Kelly's, home of the Valley's best selection of wine, spirits, and beer. Whether you're brand loyal to the tried and true brew or really enjoy trying something different and new, Kelly's has something for everyone. Family owned and operated and right on your way on West 27th Street in Scottsbluff. Kelly's Liquor. If you can't find it at Kelly's, it's not worth drinking.
(45-32), Gering gets the win here this afternoon to claim third place in the 2020 Western Conference Tournament. Now let's take a look at the individual scoring totals. On the Mitchell side, they were led in scoring by Avery Hobbs with 11 points tonight, the only Mitchell player in double figures. 7 points tonight for Angelica Gutierrez, 4 points each for Jaden Kano and McKenna Chambers. Canny Banks off the Mitchell bench with 6 points, and Josie Jenkins added 1. On the Gering side of the ledger, 2 players in double figures as Chloe Fries leads the way with 15 points. Kiera Owayo tonight with 13. 9 points for Carly Pazanka, 5 points for Sid Winkler. All of those came from the free throw line as down the stretch Gering did a great job in the fourth quarter from the free throw line, and Sid Winkler with 5 straight free throws as she ends the game with 5 points. Anavea Rios with 2, and Maddie Seiler ends the game with 1 as Gering gets the 45-32 win. We will come back and name our Taco John's player of the game as Gering takes third place over Mitchell by a final score of 45-32 on the West Coast scoreboard.
At Elite Physical Therapy, we provide preventative and rehabilitative treatments that maximize function and promote well-being for patients of all ages. With 2 locations in Scottsbluff and Gering, we offer the convenience of you choosing your location with the same great services no matter where you go. Stop into one of our locations today, in Scottsbluff at 214 West 27th Street or in Gering at 10th and M Street, and see what Elite Physical Therapy can do for you. Treatment you need and care you deserve.
Jeff Kelly back at Gering High School as Gering gets a 45-32 win over Mitchell to take third place here in this Western Conference tournament. Probably more importantly, though, the Gering Lady Bulldogs go to 2-1 on the year, and for Mitchell, they drop to 0-3 on the season as they lost to Shadron Thursday night, Scottsbluff Friday night, and they lose here in the third place game to Gering. Well, now time to name our Taco John's player of the game, and the player of the game is brought to you by Taco John's of Scottsbluff and Gering. Make Taco John's a game day tradition, buying and wrapping the original before or after every game. And our Taco John's player of the game this afternoon, we're going to give that to Kiera Owayo, as she finished the game with 13 points. She had 8 at halftime. She adds 5 in the second quarter for her 13 points. So Kiera Owayo, our Taco John's player of the game. We'll come back, wrap things up here, and take a little break and get you set for the championship game between Shadron and Scottsbluff. But once again, your final score in the third place game, Gering 45, Mitchell 32 on the West Coast scoreboard.
Coverage of the 2020 Western Conference Basketball Tournament is brought to you by Shelter Insurance Agent Travis Hawk, Panhandle Co-op, All Reed Construction, and by Ideal Linen.
For the past 44 years, Platte Valley Vacuum and Sewing has been serving the Wyobraska area. That's quite a long time. At Platte Valley Vac and Sew, you'll find quality sewing machines, quilting and embroidery machines, even sergers, from name brands such as Pfaff and Baby Lock, both known for their well-made machinery. Keep in mind you'll receive one-on-one lessons with your machine purchase. Platte Valley Vac and Sew also offers a fine selection of 100% cotton quilting fabrics and a great selection of threads and notions to assist you in most any quilting or embroidery project you might have. For all your sewing machine quilting needs, stop by Platte Valley Vac and Sew, downtown Scottsbluff.
And welcome back to Gering High School as Gering gets the 45-32 win over Mitchell for third place. And Steve Land joins us here on the Runs of Postgame Show. A little bit better job on the boards this afternoon.
Yeah, we rebounded pretty well. I thought we got off to a really quick start and made some shots and attacked the basket well. We got a couple turnovers on our press, and we just kind of kept them on the defensive effort, and I knew this was going to be a long game. They're capable. They came back against Shadron. Is a matter whether they can hit threes. They weren't hitting tonight. I think part of that was 3 days and 3 tough games. They had a tough game against Scottsbluff last night, so maybe their legs weren't quite there. We missed a lot of bunnies tonight. We didn't shoot very well, but we'll take the victory.
Talk about your team's performance over these 3 games.
Yeah, we're fairly young. We've got 4 or 5 kids that hasn't played a whole lot of varsity basketball, but they're some talented kids, and so we're looking for ways to get 3 or 4 offensive players off each night. We don't care who it is, and we've really emphasized defense this year. And giving up 32 and 21 last night, and we gave up a little bit too many to Sydney with 55. But overall, pretty good average. We can accept that. We'll continue to try to get it down as much as possible because you have a better chance of winning games with playing great defense. And our kids are buying into it this year, and our rotations are so much better early on in the year. So I've seen a lot of improvements over last year's team right now.
And of course, you've got a big stretch coming up. You talked about it a little bit last night with Mitchell and the Hastings, traveling to Hastings. Is that the kind of things, the kind of games you want to see early in the season, or would you rather have some of those tough games later in the year?
Well, we got them all spread out everywhere. We got tough ones early, we got tough ones late. We come back and play Scottsbluff and Ogallala, both very talented teams, and so we got about 5 games in a row that if we don't bring our best basketball, we're not going to be in the game. So it will be a good test for us early to see where we're at. It definitely will help us for sub-districts and hopefully, getting into a district game this year.
All right, good win for Gering, but more importantly, you're 2-1 going in for this first weekend. Good job, and we'll talk to you down the road.
All right, thanks, Jeff.
All right, Steve Land joins us here on the Runs of Postgame Show as Gering gets the win over Mitchell, 45-32. We're going to take a short break, and we'll come back, set you up for the championship game between Scottsbluff and Shadron. Once again, Gering wins at 45-32 on the West Coast scoreboard.
Who is Hydrotex? Hydrotex manufactures and distributes over 300 different high-performance lubricants, including fuel conditioners,